super chance. Hey Piggy, just give me one more super chance. Hey Piggy, just give me one. Ooh.
When I'm with my boo, 1 and 1 miss 2, then it mix free. Yeah, we had the baby. She want Versace, she want Gucci. Gotta lay down all my bands on the Lambo, cause she don't like my Volvo, no, no. Yeah, she got a diamond grill on her baby teeth. Coolest kid in the nursery, but you know, I'm not a materialist, an idealist. I flow with the transcendental argument. Reading Wittgenstein, investigate my girl philosophically. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? I just want the money.
Hey Piggy, just give me one more super chat. Hey Piggy, just give me one more super chance. Hey Piggy, just give me one more super chance. Hey Piggy,
yeah,
just give me one.
yeah,
ooh.
straight up, I'm simple for you, girl. I want my heart, want you in my world. I see you in the super chat, I see you wanna go from me. I see you on the OnlyFans and you got my heart in your hand. Please don't crush it, girl, understand that I'm a simp, but I'm proud. I'm a geek, but I'm proud. And I wanna feel your breath at a convention. I want my picture of you groping my ass to be on social media. I want my friends to see it on Discord. I'm gonna upload it to my subreddit and they all gonna see it. My friends, they gonna like it, they gonna retweet it, but I feel that it's gonna be the greatest moment of my life, and I want you to be a part of it, girl. Yeah.
Don't make me go back to that 9 to 5. Wage clock ain't no way to be alive. Don't make me go back to 9 to 5. Wage clock ain't no way to be alive. Ooh, hey Piggy, just give me one more super chat. Hey Piggy, just give me one more super chance. Hey Piggy, just give me one more super chance. Hey Piggy, just...
At iBuy
Damn. Twerkers of the world unite. Twerkers of the world unite.
I want to live forever.
Damn. I see you on that Instagram, girl. In them yogurt pants. Made me think. Damn. Sexy little communist. Sexy little communist. Working out the praxis. Ooh, sexy little socialist. Like the bugs we eat for access. You just got a little extra meat. Call it for access. You own my heart and the means of production. Let me show you my means of reproduction. Fetal cell sprite. Tonight's the night. Ballin' like Joseph Stalin. Ooh, sexy little communist. Sexy little communist. Doing little praxis. Ooh, I seen you on my Instagram. You made it my Sinstagram. Sexy little socialist.
Industrial complex exposed. Twerkers in the world unite.
I'm in love with a hobbit. Don't you try to stop it. Throw your little hissy fit. Cause I'm in love with a... Oh! I'm on elf ears. Feeling all of your fears. Crying little man tears. Crying cause I'm... Oh! Crying cause I'm a little bitch. A bitch with a sassy fit, a sassy little backpack, full of lemon spread, full of little lemon spread. Put on a little bit of lemon spread on lemon spread. Itty bitty, oh, feeling on elf ears, feeling all of your fears. Willow versus evil witch. Nasty little son of a bitch. Willow versus evil witch. Sassy little bitch. Sassy little vamp. Sassy little Frodo. Back in a larger wood. Back in where you know I should. Back a little limpus bed. Limbus bread, pack a little limbus bread, goes good with mustard. Ooh, 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 ooh. Love with a hobbit, don't you try to stop it. Throw a little hiss of it, cause I'm in, ooh.
Work today is broken.
So my son was headed off to camp, and before he went, he shared a really cool thing. I said, hey, what are you hoping to get from this? And he said, Papa, I just want to meet new people and do cool things.
There's a lot of cool people in the world. There's a lot of cool things in the world. Did you ever notice that? A lot of cool people. There's a cool guy named Bob and Bill. There's also a pretty cool guy named Phil, but not everybody's cool. Some people isn't, but that's okay. I just wanna meet new people, Papa. Meet new people, Papa. And I wanna do so many cool things. Just wanna meet new people and do a lot of cool things. Yeah. Just wanna meet new people and do so many cool things. I just wanna meet new people, and I wanna do so many cool things. I wanna meet people. You know, the world has a lot of cool things in it. Like this thing right here is pretty cool. This thing's kind of cool too. Did you ever think about how many cool things there are? There's over 1 million cool things in the world. Think about Michael Jordan, he's pretty cool. You ever think about maybe something from the 90s that you like a pair of jeans, or something like a Beanie Baby that's pretty cool. There's a lot of cool things in the world, you ever think about it? I just wanna meet new people and do so many cool things. I wanna do a lot of cool things. Like I said, there's so many cool things in the world, you gotta think about it. There's cookies that exist. There's also some things that are pretty neat, like Game Boys. Sony Disc Walkman, that's pretty cool. Doobies are pretty cool too. You ever think about that?
Yeah.
So many cool things. A lot of cool things in the world. You ever notice that? Just wanna meet new people. Do so many cool things. You never heard him sing, did you? You ain't never heard Matthew Magagahagahana Ha singing, have you, baby? That's what we do around here. I know hypotheticals, $10. Jay, I appreciate you hosting. Here's a heads up. We took a look at your debate. You might not be fully able to grasp what a hypothetical is. Oh, expose. Total run user, $10. Earth is round and science is real. All I do is debate, $10. J. Thank you for those mind-blowing super chats. Tommy J became a member. H. Brozzy, $5. I watched that Myth Vision debate for the 50th time. Embarrassment. It'll be funny seeing him spurg about presup when he has no answer to it. Yeah, Derek Myth I keep saying Myth Division. Derek from the Myth Division of the online internet Gnostic brigades. He's the Myth Division. He didn't get it. Oh man, I forgot my quiz questions. Hey Jamie, could you grab the quiz questions for the Tin Hat Cat giveaway? They're on the counter down there. I forgot to get them. Yes, ma'am. Just wanna meet new people and do so many cool things. I'm about to blow y'all's mind. You're not even gonna believe what I'm gonna tell you right now. It's not about ancient megaliths. Guess what we might have going? Let me just tantalize you with this idea. I mean, imagine me, on stage singing those beautiful songs live that you just heard, right? Imagine now. That's not too hard to believe. We've seen this. I've sung these songs 4 or 5 times now live. Imagine if I was singing them with Riff Raff as an opener. What if I was opening for Riff Raff? What if something like that happened one day? Would that blow your mind? What if it happened like after the summer? Wouldn't that be crazy? Now, it's, discussions being had. Big ballers are meeting and deals are being hashed out. Numbers are being discussed. What if we took cringecore to the next level and you saw me just belting out songs live as an opener for Jody High Roller? Thank you.
No, I don't know how you sorted.
What?
I don't know how you were sorting them.
Well, that's all right. Could you imagine? People wouldn't even be able to comprehend the levels of cross-pollinations, worlds, timelines, CERN, megadimensions overlapping. Could y'all even fathom that? What if maybe Fred Durst showed up or something? I mean, maybe. Now, I mean, it's not set in stone, so I can't full on necessarily get. I'm just talking about things that could possibly be discussed. Deals. Big ballers playing in the mix. Backroom deals. Cigar smoke. Illuminati syndicate members giving approval or disapproval. Would you be able to handle that? I'm looking at the chat. Super dope. Baller. Sick. Nah, bro. People don't even think this is possible.
Remember when it was like, oh, you ain't gonna be on no Sam Hyde podcast? You ain't funny, dude. You ain't nothing but a dude on the internet yapping, me. And then what happened? Your boy is writing funny things for Sam Hyde. Oh, what's up? Y'all said that wasn't gonna happen. Now, this may not happen, then I'm gonna look like an idiot. But that's okay. What if it does happen, dude? Y'all's mind's gonna be blown. You'll think this is a dream realm, a matrix dimension that's not possible. If I was opening up for riff raff with cringe core. What? We got some more super chats. Somebody said, my wife is demanding the gossiping song. Well, you know what? We got to please these wives. So let's do it.
Say hello to Zaxby's Southern Fried.
Let's do it. Gossiping because of moneyed request. Here we go. By the way, I hope I can still find the audio track for this, because if I have the opportunity to sing gossiping, well, hell yeah, I'm going to sing this one. It's one of the best ones, right? I hope I can still find all the audio tracks. That's going to be rough.
On the beat.
Girl, why you backbiting, whispering, DMing, and talking, texting? I don't like that. It hurts my feelings.
Girl, you always out there just straight gossiping. Why you wanna do it when I got you bling? Girl, you just out there just straight up gossiping. Always out there in the streets just gossiping. Texting, doing nasty things.
By the way, I haven't even tried singing this one live, so that'd be a bit of a challenge. Let's see if hopefully the original's still up. Let's see if it's still there. Cross your fingers. No! No! Maybe it's on the Wayback Machine, dude. Oh, no, dude. What are we going to do if we can't get gossiping no more? What? I found some of these on Wayback, though. Hold on. Oh, dude, no. What are we going to do? Maybe I could sing it to just a cappella. How am I going to sing gospel without my royalty-free backup, dude? What? No. Maybe I did save this audio somewhere, though. Maybe I just have to go find it. Oh, dang, dude.
All you wanna do is just straight gossiping. Girl, why you wanna gossip? I took you on that trip. I gave you all that stuff, all that junk. And you wanna gossip. Hurt my feelings, girl. Why you wanna do that to me? When I got you all those things. Got you all the things. Got you all the things. Gossiping. Why you wanna hurt me with your gossiping? Backbiting ain't nothing to all of me. Backbite, DM, and texting. Why you wanna do that to me? Gossiping. Telling my friends I got a little bitty thing.
Yes, I know. I'm sure there's cool dudes that could help, but yeah, so definitely everybody likes gossiping. It's hard to say which one's the best, and I haven't even done a cringecore song in a good while now. What was the last one? Quasimodo was the last one. Anyway, I mean, I'm just trying to get some attention on the sleeper hits. You know what I mean? We've all heard Funko Pop a million times. I don't want to be a one-hit wonder, dude. That's not how I roll. Straight white mouth, $5. Did you see Andrew Wilson on Piers Morgan? He destroyed everyone. No, I have not seen the new one, but I'm not surprised because, I mean, dude, Piers Morgan brings on like just total dummies, bro. I'm surprised the audience is not more excited about a potential
live riffraff show. That to me is like blowing my mind. JR $2. You see that Archbishop Elpida Forrest gave Trump a cross? Plot twist. I don't know what to make of that. I have no idea what's going on. Theosis 20Rs. Made a famous Brazilian soccer player from Flamengo. That's a bird, dude. That's not a state. I made him recite the Nicene Creed. I got 1.6 thousand likes from 1.9 thousand views. Oh, nice. Well, how do I look it up, dude? What's his name? I don't know anything about soccer though. So, straight white. Put my voice in his mouth, man. Now your little country of Flamingo, wherever the hell that is, actually sounds like a pretty cool place. You got a country named Flamingo? Let me go there, dude. Straight white male, $2. Your song is fire. Thank you, man. But I mean, look, how would it not be if I might do a show with Jody High Roller? A snapshot was kept. This ain't helping me none. This is. Why would you take down the song page? I mean, dude, I'm the only one that's given you fire vocals over your royalty-free tracks that nobody else is listening to, and you want to take it down? The other dude, when I did this with Pay Piggy, he got mad about it too. He's like, put me in there. I linked you. He's like, no, put me in as a producer, dude. Okay, whatever, fine. Nobody else is listening to your tracks, bro. You should be happy. I'm not your enemy. Okay. So we got there's just too much crazy stuff happening left and right. I can't even keep up with it. It's just kind of mind blowing. I don't even know how we're gonna make it work. We're trying to get Tripoli too. So we get Tripoli. We're trying to smash them all up in there. It would just be madness, dude. How much cringecore could y'all even handle? I mean, if we did it all, I don't know if I could do them all. Because to be honest with you, the Pay Piggy lyrics are the hardest part. The rest of these are pretty easy. They're all pretty stupid. The rest of them I know pretty well by heart. But 1, 2, let's see, 3 minutes, 6, 7, 9, 10, 13, 15, 18, 20, 25. So basically maximum 25 minutes, but that's not counting British eyes, British thighs. I don't even know, does anybody even like this one? I don't even know. Some people think it's the best. Everybody has their particular favorites. I don't know. I can't pick. I can't decide. You guys have to. Maybe I should do them all though. Because if I do them all, it'll be a concert. You know what I mean? A proper concert. But I have to rememberize the lyrics. I don't rememberize all the lyrics. Half of these, when I was doing these, man, I just made them up on the spot. I don't even know what I was saying. Y'all like this one? Or no? Yay or nay? Jay or nay? This one's Britpop.
I just want to adore you. You got your teeth infected. The T-virus, yeah. I just want to ignore you. It's straight up Anunnaki. Anarchy.
By the way, if I do it, I'm going to wear those glasses. Because I still got those. We bought those at Graceland. That's Elvis glasses. So I'm gonna get my gold Elvis glasses back for live performance. I still got that pimp cane with $1 on it. I'll bring all that stuff. I'll be the flyest dressed dude. People be like, forget Riff Raff. Who's that dude over there? Meaning me. Ethan Clark, $2.99. What's up, man? Thank you. Theosis sends another 50 Rs. Flamengo is the most famous soccer team in the world. See, I don't even know. thought you were talking about a damn country named after a gay bird. I'm just kidding. He gets the name from the country Rio de Janeiro. I've heard of that. 50 million supporters. What? I lip sync referencing you, but my countrymen are still too Protestant Catholic. No, you're doing good though. That's awesome. That's a genius idea to just get wacky with it, bro. Coach Christ Pill, $2. You should Cosby shirt with an RV background set. I don't have a Cosby sweater like James White, but I mean, have you noticed that we're at this age where just crazy things overlap? You see just crazy, like Wednesday, we're having a debate with Dasha. I didn't think she would do it, but she's talking like she's going to do it. Y'all know who I'm talking about? No, not this. Who the hell is that? Okay, so I don't know much about her, right? And then my best friend from high school, I had two best friends from high school. One that passed away, my other one, Ben, he's like, this is like 5 years ago. He's like, hey, you should check out Chapo Trap House and listen to Dasha and Dirtbag Left. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I remember going to follow the Chapo Trap House on Twitter. And as soon as I followed them, they replied to me. They said, you're an idiot. So I was like, okay, I don't think they like me very much. And then I was like, who's Dasha? And then Ben was like, oh, you should listen to her. She's interesting, this, that. And I didn't know what he was talking about. And then she has turned from the dirtbag left, the mean girl left, as it was called, to suddenly she liked Alex a few years ago because she was viral in a Lord Voldemort clip. What was it called? Sailor Socialist? Because she was pro Bernie. That's right. I remember now. She was pro Bernie, and she was on. Where's it at? A skit, or no, not a skit, an interview or something. Here we go. Sailor Socialism. Dasha Nekrasova explains her viral you-know-what interview. I don't even remember this interview. I'm not trying to... A lot of times people on the internet, they'd be like, I've never heard of this person, when they know exactly damn well who it is. It's like a lame, underhanded way to insult people. But anyway, so this is like a, I don't know, interview I never saw, and this is discussing it in Teen Vogue. This is, I don't know, it's kind of weird. But I've not heard Red Scare podcast. I don't even know exactly what they do. Do they joke around, or is it? So it's her and a girl who's an Armenian. Early episodes were produced by Meg Murnane. I don't know who that is. I know who Christopher Lash is. They were influenced by Christopher Lash. I have that book, Against the Elites. Camille Paglia. So it's like the left critical of some elements of the left. And so they were on Voldemort. They were on with Tulsi, Glenn Greenwald, Steve Bannon, Curtis Yarvin, Tucker, Slavoy. Then, I again was not really familiar with this. Well, it turns out she's on a Netflix show or something, right? So she's on Succession. So she plays a character on Netflix. show. And there's one other thing I was going to talk about that was crazy. Forgot what it was. Oh, she took a right turn to Eastern Catholic. So she says, I'm Eastern Catholic. So my buddy who has listened to her podcast for a long time, he was like, hey, she's over here saying she won't debate anybody. I was like, what? She's not going to debate anybody. Well, sure enough, she says, well, I'm going to debate anybody. So I'm like, all right, we'll see about that. So I sent the invite, all right, let's do it. You are going to come prove Eastern Catholicism. This is going to be fun. So then the heat is on. It's on the street. Woo-hoo. Because we got a bunch of smack talking. And you know what I appreciate about people who have some degree of E-Diva status, although not the E-Diva status that I have. They can handle the smack talk. Look, here's a woman handling the smack talk better than the effeminate Roman Catholics who melt as soon as you say anything bad. Why would you say that to me? Hurt my feelings. Right? Just name any Roman Catholic idiot of the last 6 years. And then, look at this, dude. Girls can handle it better than you. That's pathetic, dude. Pathetic. So she's over here talking smack. She's going to put me in my place. Uh-oh. I guess I'm cooked, as the kids say. Cooked. We've even got our boy Kino Corner up here in the mix, just chiming in. It's about to get hype. Wednesday night, the debate. We'll see about all that. We'll see about that. Theosis 5. Do the Eastern Catholics want their cake and to eat it too? Basically, essentially. Anyway, we're about to get to all of the megalith, Nephilim, ancient civilizations, Atlantis, Giza, pyramid stuff in just a minute. Don't worry. But a lot of people are dumb too. They're like, they go to her profile. Oh, dude, you're gonna smash this girl working for the UN. That's a joke, dude. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. So I hadn't thought about this chick in a long time since my buddy was like, you should interview her. This was like 5 years ago, and I was like, I think he was trying to get me into the dirtbag left. And then Chapo Trap House called me a idiot retort, and I was like, all right, guess I'm out of here. These people are not friendly to me. But guess what? Then out of nowhere, when I get invited on PGL, I'm like looking at the episodes right before me, and I'm like, she's on PGL? What the heck, dude? What's going on? She's popping up on here.
Hotels with spies.
And I remember thinking, like, who? I thought she was dirtbag left. Bernie, how is she on here?
Just the fruit fly stuff.
I just didn't understand it. It was blowing my mind.
In here?
Yeah.
Yeah, in a goon cave. I've known.
This is just like a bar concept
What's
we're shooting
that?
for.
Yeah.
Like man cave, the bar.
Yeah. I have noticed.
Just checking. There's a sink over there.
So I'm like, oh, okay. So she was just on PGL. All right. We're gonna have to do this. Gossiping. So Wednesday night, it's on debate. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Also, if you don't follow me on X, why? What the frick is your problem? I'm almost to the dreaded 100K. It's so difficult on any platform to get to 100K. Where are y'all at? I got all of these people over here supporting, and that's great. Come follow me, y'all. So what are we going to debate? she said, I will debate any Orthodox person. And I'm like, okay. And she said she'll debate him on Orthodox versus Eastern Catholic claims and ecclesiology. I'm like, let's do it. So that's what it is. Wait a minute. We got several super chats I missed here. Vane, $5. Review the Matt Dillahunty monkey cover if you want to, bro. Thanks. I can't link videos from inside of Streamlabs, dog. Let me see. I'm gonna have to pull up the other Streamlabs from the back end. Let me see if it might shut the computer down because of too many dang windows. Let's try it. We'll see if I can find that link. Because you paid me to review it. You want me to review your song? You got like a new Matt Dillahunty song? Let's see. Matt Dillahunty, what you doing to me? Okay. Here we go. I think I can do this. Let's try this. All right. Copy, paste. Bring it over.
Tree, what you doing up there? Why you scared? Why you running from every debate? You ran from Andrew and me. Matt Dillahunty, Matt Dillahunty, Matt Dillahunty. You like them female monkeys with them bananas between their tree, hanging down upside down frown, that's a smile. Matt Dillahunty, what you doing to me? Matt and a female male monkey climbed up a tree, K-I-S-S-I-N gay, and doing much more worse than that. Matt Dillahunty, like them female monkeys with them bananas between their tree, hanging down, upside down frown, that's a smile. Matt Dillahunty, what you doing to me? Give me a na-na-na, one more big na-na-na, 'cause my name is Matt Dillahunty, but I say it's not a banana, it's a J, that reminds me of Jay. He beat me in a debate. Matt Dillahunty, Matt Dillahunty, Matt Dillahunty. You like them female monkeys with them bananas between their teeth, hanging down upside down.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Appreciate that. I'll give it a like. Maybe I'll play it in the alternating rotations. Appreciate that. Theosis. How do Eastern Catholics reconcile not citing the Filioque? 10 R's. Just because the papacy can tell them that they don't have to recite it, and you can have two competing creeds within the Catholic Church because they pretend that it's not a divisive issue, even though the Vatican statements admit that it is still a position in tension with the Latin view. Jim Tassikas, $5. Eastern Catholics can go at you about the ratification of Florence. One bishop or lady cannot legit reverse the ratification. Of course they can. Only if you believe in a papal idea of ratification being an autocracy. The Orthodox Church is synodal. Even having 4 patriarchates or 3 patriarchates does not constitute the totality of the church. We have this thing called reception. I don't know if you've heard about that. Roman Catholics have the idea of reception as well. That's why they talk about the Pope elected by the cardinals and received throughout the world. So once the world receives one of the bishops of Rome that's elected by the cardinals, that means he's been received by the laity as well. So even Rome has this notion of lay reception. And because when you look back in Rome's history, there have been false popes, anti-popes, pretended popes, schismatic popes, etc. At one time, there was even 3 claimants. And how did they resolve that? A council. Exactly. So a council determined a division, a split between 3 papal claimants. But remember, Roman Catholicism is not based around councils, it's based around the papacy. So, Jim, your low-tier question is something that is a level 1 pop Catholic apologist thing that has been addressed countless times. And furthermore, Mark of Ephesus is a saint because he did not go along with that. And the rest of the church, throughout the rest of the countries, did not accept Florence because it was a geopolitically motivated, erroneous conclusion. So you're just saying that it's ratified. Sorry, it's ratified. What does that mean? Ratified from the Roman Catholic papal view? I mean, you guys should at least familiarize yourself with other people's positions rather than assuming that these level 1 baby tier arguments haven't been responded to. T-Funk Nation Town, $5. Morals and Dogma, reading the sublime prince of the royal secret. It contradicts endlessly. Yeah, I mean, I've read lengthy, significant sections of Morals and Dogma. I haven't read the entire thing. I read a lot of it. And you don't have to go very far in Albert Pike's book to see that it's not a coherent thing. He contradicts all the time. I mean, the book's called Morals and Dogma, and he literally says in there, the Mason is not subject to any dogma, but the freedom of his conscience. Well, why is your book called Morals and Dogma? I mean, it's just like pretty low tier, dude. Remy, $5. What are the best sources for critiques against conventionalism? I don't even know what that is. I mean, what is that? I haven't been in academia in 15 years, so a lot of times you guys ask me, nerd philosophy questions. I don't even know, dude. So what even is conventional? I'm going to look it up here. Conventionalism. In philosophy? I don't even know what that is. In a philosophical context, conventionalism is the idea that fundamental principles, like those in ethics, law, science, or math, are based on agreements or conventions rather than objective reality. I mean, that's so stupid, it's not even worth responding to. So basically, you just mean they're social, their projections are social creations. So if 51 people out of 100 decide that 2 + 2 is 5, it becomes 5. You could also refute it by pointing out that if 51 out of 100 people decide that conventionalism is false, then it's self-refuting. Smoke, $10. Would you be willing to opening streams where you steelman other positions while your members call in to take you down? I don't know. That sounds kind of dumb. No offense to you, but I bet you could argue the other positions better than the callers. Yeah, I could. It may sharpen the community. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. We just live in this weird world, man. It's like everything is so weird and worlds collide. And I wanted to see, is this that show about corporations or something? Is that? Oh, here we go. Look at this. Sailor socialism. Is this Millie Weaver back in the day?
Hi, are you a fan of Bernie Sanders?
Yeah, I am.
What do you like about him?
That he's a socialist.
Why is socialism good?
Are you like, I don't really want to do this. What is this for?
We're asking people why they like Bernie Sanders.
for InfoWars.
Yes, we are InfoWars.
I think he has a lot of.
All right, so there's that. I'm not gonna play all that. But she's in Succession.
Yeah, me too.
Right, because I might have to brief the press against you.
The whole press.
Yeah.
Is this the show? Yeah, I watched Severance season 1. Is this your show about like a corporation that's like a corporate dynasty? Is that what this is? Anyway, it's gonna be a wild exchange. You know what I'm saying? And she was engaged, I guess, to the comedian podcast guy. What's his name? Adam Friedland. This guy. So I've heard he's funny. I've not watched his show, so I can't really comment. But y'all can tell me. I don't know.
Problem? You guys are having problems with it?
What?
What
are you talking about?
Well, you want this job. Are you guys?
Yeah, no, not really. I was just,
But aren't you and Dasha aren't separating or anything?
No, we're all good. She's right here.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hey. Crazy you're here. Yeah.
We heard you needed some help, so.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
I don't know how hard.
Anyway, I'm not gonna play too much of it because I don't want them dinging my thing for copyrights. Anyway, you guys get the point. It's going to be an interesting cut the crap and begin to talk. All right, you know what? You were yapping at the beginning. How about you just get out of here? I'm sick of you. We talk about all of the interesting things on my show, so you can just leave, dude. What we're going to be doing in terms of debates is part of the show. So I think that's interesting. I'm catching you up on today's drama. How would you not be interested in that? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? So there was drama about them and their relationships. Well, I don't know about none of that relationship dramas. Yeah, let me guess. The audio reset because I was on freaking StreamYards with Cotel. Let's fix this. Of course, it reset. Anytime I go on StreamYard, it turns the volume down because it has that automatic volume button that you can't shut off. All right, let's get into ancient civilizations. A bunch of wild, crazy stuff tonight. A lot of speculations. A lot of people saying it's Nikola Tesla, dude. Shocking people. Electricity out of the ether sphere. Is that what's going on? Well, I don't know. So, for those that don't know, to begin with, we'll start with this pyramid stuff. So there was a podcast, not a podcast, there was a video last week from Lord Voldemort that he posted from another kind of new agey researcher guy, Jay something, I don't know who this person is, but it went viral because he made a video with Greg Reese talking about the pyramid having supposedly newly discovered chambers. Now, in the original peer-reviewed paper from 2022, I think, okay, it does not mention the vast 2-kilometer underground structures. It mentions a new chamber or two. And by the way, this is what I said. This was my joke, baby. What's that energy system for? What's that battery for? It's for making that dank stuff, brah. It's for making that Dankanatin. That's what that energy was for, dude. You didn't know that? Is the volume better now? It should be fixed. Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? Is that better? Okay. So this is my joke. That's not what it's for. That's a fake picture if you didn't know. A lot of people, is that a real picture? Boomer's like, that's a real picture right there. You know they opened up the pyramids and there's still weed in there from 2,000, 3,000 years ago in Egypt. There was fresh Kush. That's, you know why they call it Kush? Because of the Kushites. Because we was pyramids, dog. And she. We was pyramids and she. We was pyramids and she. Hey, dude, we was pyramids and she. That's what I'm talking about. I'm about to play your rap song, too, that talks about that. Proves it. Proof. All right. So, Lord Voldemort shares this interview that's like a 10 or 20 minute interview. And then that goes viral. I remember them talking about it that day, and I was like, what is this? Is this real? So I start looking into it, and I'll be honest with you, I still can't figure out what's going on. I can't figure out what's real or fake in this because Grok does not help. And I'm going to show you Grok acting a fool, contradicting himself, okay? So I made my video, and then I asked Grok, okay, Grok, give me the skeptical take on this, right? Grok says, the skeptical take, he says, we don't know. It's a leap to say from the 2022 paper that there's these giant antechambers. But then he says the recent SAR scans by the same people reveal underground structures beneath the Giza pyramids, including vertical wells 648 meters, matching the giant underground columns. Evidence suggests this is true. The Genesis 6 part is my speculation. So, the 2025 Giza discovery beneath the Khafre pyramid, includes the 648 meter deep wells. It is new and is distinct from the 2022 study focused on the internal structure. The delay reflects time needed for further research, not prior knowledge. Now, what's interesting is that in some of the speculative pyramidiates, and I'm calling them pyramidiates because most of this stuff is idiotic, right? Most of the pyramidiates have infinite numbers of speculations about this stuff, right? So you can never really get anywhere with it. And I remember, I think when people get into conspiracy stuff, you have a phase where you like, you read Graham Hancock's book, you Fingerprints of the Gods, and then you read Stargate conspiracy book, which I read that back in the day. I got more. I got a bunch of these. I got Forbidden History over here with a bunch of Egyptian stuff. And I think what happens is after you kind of go through a phase of reading that, quantum pyramidiate shit, you realize, okay, this stuff is so speculative and this domain is so full of kooks and quacks and con men that you really just can't make any headway in it. So I haven't even thought about pyramids and pyramidiate stuff since probably 2008. It's probably the last time I thought about or even read a book about pyramids, right? So it was not on my radar. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't think that there's interesting stuff. It's just kind of like, it's like when you watch infinite numbers of UFO videos. You know what I mean? You can never, like, what is that blurry blinking light in the sky? I don't know. I'll never know. And after watching 1,000 sky anomaly videos, I'm not anywhere closer to anything. So it's just like there's an infinity of blinky UFO videos that don't go anywhere. So I don't know, right? I retire when it comes to Billy Corson stuff. Okay, now we're not doing Billy Corson tonight. Okay, I hope none of my audience is pyramidiates. So we're going to stick to what we can maybe not necessarily prove, but maybe what seems likely. That's our best case scenario. I will be delving into elements, though, of Nephilim and Genesis 6 because I still think that that is a possibility, that is a viable thesis. Did that dude retract his super chat? How do you retract a super chat? Theosis. No, wait, we read that. Rigovich says for $3 that Dasha's a fraud. Do you mean that she's not actually an Eastern Catholic, or what do you mean? Jim, no, we read that. Pizza Guy, $5. Did you read Ethics of Beauty? What are your thoughts on it? No, sorry. I've not. Hyro Payson, $5. Will you react to Redeemed Zoomer's videos, How Protestants Interpret Scripture? He makes some ... interesting epistemological arguments. Do y'all not get tired of the reaction video, reactions to the reactions to the reactions to the... Like, to me, those are the most boring videos, y'all. Like, but everybody requests... Like people today, when you gonna make a video responding to the 8 reasons I'm not Orthodox from Protestant so-and-so with 2,000 followers? Okay, I will, I guess, but don't y'all, like, it's like always, every time we do these reaction videos to the top 8, 10, 5, it's the lowest of the low tier. It's so low tier. Jim Tasikas, $5, and he says nothing. CS for $5. Them boys was riding pyramids like spaceship. It's big Egypt. Beep. Outlining our enslavement. SAR radar doesn't penetrate the ground. However, we asked this question was actually asked, and here goes the damn. This question was asked to Grok, and Grok claims it does. So where was that question? Now, I'm not saying Grok is infallible. Grok is not my new pope. Although you would probably do better with Grok as a pope than Francis. I'll tell you that much. Oh shit, look at that. They growing that space dank. Look at that right there. That's a space weed. That's that lift off right there. Is it LiDAR? I don't even know what all these are. LiDAR penetrate the ground. I'm going to play you the press release, supposedly, too. Let's see. Wait, it's not LiDAR. What's it called? SAR? Let's just... No, the voice Grok won't know. Was the recent pyramid discovery done with SAR? Whatever that is. We're asking Grok now. Our AI Pope. SAR is a form of radar that creates high-resolution images. It's called synthetic aperture radar. It maps surfaces and detects anomalies beneath shallow layers of sand or soil. It is not like LiDAR. SAR can penetrate sand. In Egypt, SAR was used in 2011 to discover lost pyramids by Dr. Sarah Parkak's team. They used infrared satellite imagery and radar to detect buried structures under the sand, particularly sites that were later proven by excavation. More recently, Giza Plateau of Saqqara in 2023 unearthed the tombs of structures using SAR and other sensing technologies like GPR, ground penetrating radar, versus SAR. So then it's saying, are you referring to another discovery? I don't know if this will have it or not. The wells and cylinders claim. Let's see. So you just got refuted by Grok, and I refute Grok, so that means you're like 2 levels of refutation removed from me outlining our enslavement. So let's see what Grok says. I assume you're referring to the cylindrical well chambers tied to the recent archaeological discussions. One of the most publicized recent discoveries of the Giza pyramids, ground-penetrating radar and electrical resistivity tomography, ERT. They first found an L-shaped anomaly. I think that was in the first paper, maybe. So they found a little L chamber that was not known. Now see, this is why Grok contradicts himself, because he says, I don't know of any other discoveries, when he already commented on the damn profile that we just looked at. But see, he's just reporting right here. So who knows? That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't make heads or tails of this, but the original paper doesn't have it. And we'll look at this James LaFleur video here where he shows the actual press release from the woman reading the paper. And you can tell, let me find the picture. It looks funny. Like when they get to the actual paper itself, of the new paper, like it's looking kind of goofy, dude. I'll be honest with you. I don't believe this thing was a battery, by the way. Now I could be wrong, because I think Tesla believed it was a battery. So I'll give a shout out to James LaFleur over here. I talked to him one time on a DM, and I tried to get him to do an interview, but he wouldn't do it. So watch this. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Can't get crazier. They do. On March 5th.
Sustainable.
This is acting all weird. Can you guys still see me? Is this visible? Retro Reister Gaming, 10 A's. I want to ask you to believe in little green men flying around spaceships around the galaxy like the movies tell us. I think you mean, do I believe in them? No, I have many podcasts where I talk about, and even in my first book, I wrote a pretty extensive argument that aliens are a psyop, bro. So I've been on the alien psyop train since, like, one of my first podcasts was with the Collins brothers from like 12, 14 years ago, where we talked about how aliens are a psyop. Miss Appleby, $2. This is a tip for Jamie's next espresso service. Enjoy. Thank you. Noli, $5. Thank you for what you do. Did you read Seraphim Rose Orthodox Survival Course? I read some chapters. I've not read the entire thing. I fell in love with it. I've read everything from him. I've read most of his books, including Genesis, Creation, Early Man. Ruben Anderson, NZ, 5 New Zealands. How can we tell predictive programming from a coincidence? In some cases you're not going to know. There's a lot of coincidences, but I think sometimes it can be maybe obvious if you can verify it with, propaganda. I think propaganda is an easier route than, they put, Neo's birthday as 9/11. I mean, that's odd, right? Is it proof? I don't know if it's proof, but it's odd. So you see it, like, we just don't know. Unless somebody came forward and said, yeah, I had foreknowledge, it was me.
Team of researchers, including Filippo Bianchi, came across what appears to be a massive structure underneath the Giza pyramid. And this structure would extend 2 kilometers deep underneath the pyramid. And this is wild. This is one of the most life-changing and mind-blowing discoveries ever, if true.
Now I'm going to show you some interesting things of the Long U caves where there's these, you know, columns and whatnot. Not as big as this, obviously. And by the way, it's not clear that they're, if they exist, they're actually columns. They just kind of look like it with cylindrical. I mean, they could just be hollow wells. I mean, who knows? Or it could be nothing, but it'll be interesting to see.
And right now, everyone on social media is talking about this.
You are literally not going to believe what they've just found underneath the Khafre, the middle pyramid in Giza.
We're not going to believe what they found, not only inside the Great Pyramids, but underneath the Great Pyramids. This discovery is going to change everything that we know about, well, everything.
What has just been announced in relation to the pyramids at the Giza?
So this is the guy that Lord Voldemort had on. And by the way, tonight is a Tin Hat Cat giveaway if you don't know. I'm going to be asking you quiz questions. Should you get some of these correct, you will have to put your MetaMask Sonic mainnet. So you have to be the Sonic mainnet or your Robbie wallet to receive if you get the questions right. So we're going to have fun tonight. Right? We having fun, baby. Can y'all see me still? My Streamlabs is not working right. I had too many. I opened up too many damn things and I can't even see the Streamlabs anymore. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, then probably don't waste your time answering the questions. Because as you know, our friends over at the Tin Hat Cat section of the internet, they're a fun bunch of dudes. They've been very generous supporters. And, you know, if you don't like the memes and all that, that's your business. You can go and exchange these. You can switch from Sonic mainnet to Ethereum, and then you can go sell your Ethereum and buy Bitcoin. Nobody's making you have to keep it if you don't want it. So don't be a bunch of fussy pants. If you don't want your free Tin Hat Cat, then you're going to give out. You're getting free stuff and you're going to whine a bitch. I don't like meme coins. Well, then go sell it and buy Bitcoin, dummy. Y'all ready for this? I'm going to intersperse Tin Hat Cat giveaway throughout the discussion. The first person that I see gets it right, you give me your receive address from your MetaMask wallet on the Sonic mainnet or from your Rabby wallet. Y'all understand? We've done it many times. It's pretty simple. If you don't have those wallets, don't worry about it. You're not going to get any Tin Hat Cat coin. It ain't going to work. It ain't happening, son. So first quiz question. Oh, where can you find the published pyramid? So I'm going to show you, there's two pyramid papers. The first pyramid paper, which describes, if I recall, the internal structure with the L chamber, which is the new discovery, I think. That's from 2022. And then there's this new supposed paper. I just had all this shit pulled up. Give me the actual paper. I don't want all this crap. All right, you'll have to look it up. I can't find it. I had it. I posted it in a freaking chat group, and now I can't find it. But it's you'll see the actual paper will be referenced here in a second in the video. But before we get into the video, we've got one quiz question. And whoever gets it right will get, let's say, what's Tin Hat Cat at today? I think it went down some. Tin Hat Cat's about 13 cents today. We are up this week, but we're down this month. So, let's say this is going to be, if it's 13 cents, we'll give away 50 THC with this question, and then we'll be giving away 50 and 100 THCs. And then maybe 500 THC for a super hard question. You'll see the pyramid paper in a second. First question for y'all nerds. You gotta be a real nerd to get this one. So 100 THC. We're gonna make this 100. And when you get it right, put your receive address. Which sci-fi legend, host of The Unexplained, appeared on Ancient Aliens in a 2-hour special in 2021? First person to get it right gets 100 THC. Which sci-fi dork legend was in a 2021 Ancient Aliens episode with a bunch of space riz, according to Jamie? You get 100 THC. I got to write down the names of who gets it right too. Now people trying to Google it really quick. It's 13 cents per coin. If I give you 100, that's $13, and you can do with it what you want. You can go if you want to trade out of it. By the way, for the it's William Shatner. RR got it. What's up? Good job, RR. So RR, give me your receive address for the Sonic mainnet, and you'll receive the THC. And he gets 100. Good job. RR already got it, dog. But you gotta post your receive address in the chat, or I won't see it. Also, got to make sure I got it set to where I can see all messages. Okay. Oh, don't worry, we got more questions here. We got more. RR, you better put your receive address. Tin Hat Shatner. Okay. What was the name of the spirit that John D. and Edward Kelly contacted, who told them that they needed a wife swap? I'm not joking. Give it to the next person. Okay, well, the first person to put your receive address will get 100 THC. Am I going to what? Diddy party? Dasha said that she knows that I am underestimating her. Uh-oh. We got a sleeper agent. She's about to red scare me. I'm red scared. Nobody has a receive Sonic mainnet address. First person that just puts a damn address gets $15 a Tin Hat Cat. LaKang. This is too nerdy for me. Nobody knows. Y'all don't know your meme coins. Y'all don't know your giveaways. Madim. Okay, Madimi. It's Madimi. I'll give it to Friend. Friend, you got to put your your receive. It's Tin Hat Cat. Tin Hat Cat is a meme coin on Sonic mainnet. Sonic is what used to be Phantom. So there you go. Friend gets 100 THC. Okay, next quiz question. All right, this is a challenge one. I'm gonna give you 500 THC because this one is a challenging one. Nobody even knows. So Phantom coin is now called Sonic. For those that don't know, Phantom was one of the top cryptos. Still exists. It's just now called Sonic. Okay, Rough Hands right there is going to get the $13 right here. So let me make a note of that. Got to copy the address. Make sure you get it. Rough Hands is getting the first 100 THC. Friend, you got to put your address in if you want that money, buddy. Y'all put in fake ass addresses. That's not a real address. Rough Hands is the only one that even posted a wallet address yet. Okay, what 1918 magical working to create a channel for extra dimensional entities to enter our universe? It had a name. What was the name of that 1918 magical working to bring extra dimensional entities into our universe? First one that names this weird ass name gets 500 THC, which is, I don't know, whatever that is times 13 cents. Yeah, if you want to just, the easiest way to do this is download a Rabby wallet and just send me the receive address. It's the easiest way. Rabby wallet. And hit receive. Because Rabby wallet has Sonic built into it. That's easy. And then if you want to sell it, you got to send it to, you got to probably send it to, because I don't, if you're on your Rabby wallet on your computer, you can go to Sonic mainnet to bridge it to Ethereum. But half of y'all ain't gonna be able to do that. Gnome Hyperborea is the wrong answer. Nobody's got this yet. Rabby, like a rabbit, not rabbi, dummy. Y'all just obsessed. Nobody's got it yet. What 1918 magical working has a name? Rabby, like a rabbit, not rabbi. Is a channel. I'm trying to give away free meme coins, bro. And y'all don't want it. This is like $50 here, dog. You don't want $50? No, this is, hold on. $65. Nobody wants $65 free. Y'all dumb. No, it's not Jacob's Ladder. What is the name of the 1918 magical working that sought to create a channel for extra dimensional entities to enter our universe? Oh, Adrian got it. Correct. It is the Amalantra working. Correct. I think he was the first. So you got to... No, he got it. He got 500 THC. Adrian Smith gets 500 THC, which comes out to like $65. You want $65 or nobody wants it? But you got to give me your receive address for the, either out of your MetaMask on the Sonnet mainnet or out of your Rabby wallet. Friend, you got 100 THC for the other question. So where's your... Are y'all putting the wallet address in there? I'm not seeing anybody's wallet addresses. Only one person's figured out how to do this. Well, I mean, I can't really stop people from Googling it, so... If they Google it first, maybe you just got to have the knowledge on hand, dude. I don't know what to tell you. So we'll do a little bit more of this while y'all try to figure out what the hell you're doing with crypto.
Giza plateau, and the plateau itself is so incredible and narrative shattering that I have been sitting here for the last hour trying to wrap my head around the implications of what we were just told.
The implications of this, if real, are huge. There's a bunch of crazy theories that the pyramids were not built by humans, that there's advanced and ancient technology that was used to build not only the pyramids but a bunch of ancient structures
Okay, thank you, friend. I got your thing there. So now I just need Adrian Smith. I got you, friend. I got yours. By the way, I will send these to you after the show. So you're going to look in your wallet after this, and it'll show up in there. I got friend's address. I just need Adrian Smith's address. Because Adrian won $65 if he wants it.
Described first by Christopher Dunn as a Crookes tube, perhaps an electrical bulb. And again, snake throughout every culture, from Asia through Africa, represents electricity, kundalini energy. Here, it looks like it's what somebody said, a condenser.
Now, I don't believe that the pyramids are a damn battery. Okay, I think that's dumb. I do think it's possible that if this stuff is true with these underground cities and structures or whatever, this sounds more like the Bible to me. This sounds like Nephilim, Genesis 6 stuff. That's where we're going with this. Now, apparently, Nikola Tesla did believe, and I'm not saying that makes it true, but apparently Tesla did think that the pyramids were some sort of big battery of some kind, which is interesting. It's a fun theory to entertain, but I don't think that that's true. And when people look at the hieroglyphs and they try to come up with this stupid ass shit where they, oh look, here's a snake inside of a giant light bulb. That's electricity. That's just a snake, dude. That's not a light bulb. That's stupid. So I ain't into none of this nonsense. Does Adrian, friend, you're gonna get your. Oh, you're saying that you beat Adrian Smith? And you get, okay, well, fine. I'll give you if you beat him, I'll trust. Is that true? Did he get it first? I can't even scroll up now. Okay, dude, relax. I'll send you your crypto. Just chill out, man. It's fine. I don't know if I can scroll up far enough because it only lets you scroll up so far. But it's difficult to see all the chat, so. Okay, I see friends saying Alamantra. I mean, that's technically Amalantra working. Yes. Okay, so friend got it. And then did I look to see if Adrian says it later? Okay, I see friends saying it. Okay, I think he got it first. That's fine. Okay, so relax, dude. I don't even think Adrian has a wallet, so don't worry about it.
Because it's working with electricity, and again, we're not talking wireless electricity, because it is.
Deeper into this, and I came across information that may suggest that this is all fake to push a narrative, to discredit researchers, and I came across videos, articles, and information that suggests that this could be real, that there's maybe something or more than just something underneath the Giza plateau.
See, this is what people keep seeing two sides of this, and I don't know. And by the way, I don't care either way. It's fine with me either way.
But
do you ever feel overwhelmed?
Look, if you don't want the meme coin, just sell it and go get your Bitcoin, dude. Nobody's telling you have to keep it. But if the 10 Hat Cat guys are generous and they say, here, have a bunch of THC to give away, I'm going to do it because they've been cool. And they like alternative information and conspiracies. So you can do what you want with it, bro. Why is that dude still tripping, man? You're going to get your money, man. Relax. I lost my crypto from last time and I still didn't get excited. Well, part of the thing was that Phantom completely converted to being Sonic, which is a different blockchain. So people had to lock up their crypto and get it on the new chain, which you can still do, by the way. You can still go to the Sonic mainnet and switch your Phantom to Sonic. I think it's Sonic Labs. Yeah. So if you still have Phantom token that you want to convert, you can still do it over here, I think. Right here. Upgrade your Phantom to Sonic on a 1-to-1 basis. So that still exists. Cheating shitcoins. I'm just telling you that if you want, you can do what you want to with it. You're free, dude. Nobody's making you do. You can do what you want with your cryptos, dog. Shiru Emiya, $1. First Communion, a valid route of attack on a Roman Catholic Church. Claiming that logical awareness is needed, but they baptize infants. That's a contradiction. I would argue it is a contradiction. I mean, they're just going to say, well, I guess the Pope decided that this was what was necessary to do in the 7th and 8th, 9th century. So they're just going to fall back on just papal decision. But I would say, yes, it is a contradiction. Taint Nothing, $5. Andrew called out a bunch of conservatives, quote unquote, on Piers Morgan, saying they're all feminists. It was pretty funny. That does sound funny. I have to watch that. Okay, he's going to list the original pyramid paper just a second. Jay's show is him babysitting the man children in the chat. Hey, we a bunch of Chad nerd man children though, right? All right, let's get back to this pyramids.
What is it? Now, there's a couple of strange things that I also came across. I found out that the entire topic is already being censored all over Reddit, where every post about the recent structures found beneath the pyramid are being deleted.
That's interesting. Why are they deleting that on Reddit? I mean, Reddit is the worst, but it is interesting.
I also found out that the community notes on Jay Anderson's post on Twitter, which has 10 million views, it has been removed. The community notes said that the information was fake, and now it's been completely removed. So let's start with the basic, and that's where it all begins on March 19th.
And now I'm getting the same contradictions as we saw from Grok, where Grok's like, oh, well, this is a leap. And then it's like, no, it's not. Okay, so here's the paper for those that were asking. The actual paper is right here. This is the original peer-reviewed one from 2022. Synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography reveals the details of undiscovered high-resolution internal structure of the Great Pyramid. Now, this one is the internal structure. And I think this is the one where they found an L-shaped corridor. So that there was a new discovery, but this was not the Gigantor underground wells or cylinders claim. However, supposedly, unless this is all fake, which is possible, there's a new paper, not yet peer-reviewed, by the same Filippo Biondi and Corrado Malanga, with the additional wild claims. So we'll look at that in a second.
Biondi and Corrado Malanga, called synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography. So this was used to explore the internal structure of the Great Pyramid of Giza. And this method leverages the analysis of micro movements typically generated by background seismic activity to achieve a high resolution full 3D tomographic imagery of the pyramid's interior and subsurface components. The recent findings from deploying this technology are nothing short of mind-blowing, because what's been discovered is that there are huge structures coming down from the base of the pyramid deep into the bedrock, in fact over 600 meters deep, which then connects to structures that extend up to 2 kilometers below the surface of the ground.
So if these readings are correct, and if this supposed new paper is correct, it would mean that there's gigantic, deep, cylindrical structures or open areas, I don't know. And then giant cube things at the bottom. So essentially some sort of giant underground city or structure is what it looks like, if it's true. But again, this may not be true. It may be fake. Okay.
kilometers.
So at this point, there's a lot of people coming up with the craziest theories that maybe this is some sort of battery or some sort of harnessing system that the pyramids had to harness energy, or even an underground city of some sort.
So that's the giant cubes that are supposedly at the bottom of the cylindrical things, whatever that is. Perhaps passageways, roads, who knows. Again, but this might all just be complete bullcrap made up by a bunch of pyramidiots, because the people who do pyramid stuff, they're kind of out there. But who knows? I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if there's gigantic underground cities and structures underneath the pyramids. That'd be pretty wild, wouldn't it? And to me, what it would suggest is if this was some sort of structure that was built that seems impossible for humans, then this would change history. And of course, all the idiots would, oh, it's the aliens, dude. It's aliens, bro. Well, the first thought I would have is this is not aliens. This is like Genesis 6 Nephilim giant stuff. That's what would make the most sense to me. What are y'all laughing at? Yakub? Where are you laughing at, Yakub? This is where you was worshipped at, I thought. Yakub's in the chat laughing. This is your palace. This is your home turf, dog. What you laughing at? Bobby C, where is the published paper? It's this one right here. Synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography reveals detail. This is the first paper, okay? There's a second paper that's about to come out that's not yet peer reviewed. So, you got a giant Minecraft tomb underneath the pyramids, bro. Quantum Yakub became a member. The pyramids are where we created Yakub. Damn, son. Damn, son. Where'd you find this? Exactly, bro. Exactly. If y'all didn't see me and Weck, right? My boy Weck. If y'all didn't watch us, we were exposing Grok over here. Did y'all see us exposing Grok about Yakub? If you missed it, go watch this stuff. This stuff was lit.
But Yakub's a different beast. More myth than math. He's a figure from NOI theology, not a real guy tinkering with test tubes.
Not
like
a real
Dyson
guy.
What?
What? Not a real guy. What? Anyway.
What we know so far. Utilizing high-resolution radar images from Capella Space and Umbra, which are two private companies that specialize in satellite-based synthetic aperture radar imaging.
Yep. Checks out. Cutting-edge space systems from refined mission solutions to Bastion-class data.
Chamber with 5 horizontal levels.
So this is the original paper, the pyramid, and the different internal areas within the pyramid, right?
And a sloping roof, which in of itself, beneath the surface.
This is where it starts to get wild, where this is underneath, supposedly, from this technology that's non-invasive, so they don't have to, like, dig, you know, with a bunch of stuff that could cause it to collapse or whatever. Supposedly they can look underground with a good bit of depth. Now, here's the thing that I got Grok to admit. Apparently, there are other discoveries using this technology where they have looked at down like 500, 600 meters. So this is apparently possible to do. So that's the other thing is like, that doesn't mean this isn't fake. This could still be fake, even though this technology exists. But apparently, it is possible for this thing to look deep, and they've done it before. Let me see if I can find that, because we asked Grok about this as well, assuming that he's telling the truth. Could all be lies. Okay, so on my video, we go into the comments. So there was another post, I'm trying to find it, where it was talking about other instances where this technology had been used. Let's see. Let's try it this way. SAR scans can look how deep. So it has to be combined with the other stuff of interferometry and tomography to do the deep stuff. Uses vibration data to infer structure. This could allow for the detection of a void or a massive feature like a well at 648 meters. Ice penetrating radar reaches kilometers in Antarctica. The Giza case stands out as an outlier, likely due to the unique methodology. Malenga and Biondi's paper doesn't specify a strict depth limit. 648 meters aligns with their claim of the Khafre Pyramid. Typically, GPR is 10 to 30 meters in dry limestone, while seismic methods that are not SAR can probe kilometers. I mean, like, if you don't know this kind of shit, like, you're not going to be able to, this is like a stopping point, you know? Like, I don't know, like, who knows? This is why it's hard to figure out, you know, how legit this is, or if this is just a bunch of weird nonsense, or a bunch of pyramidiots. Theosis R5, 5 R's. Do you know the guy from Eschaton YouTube channel? I do not. Never heard of him. It will be a great collab. I'll have to check him out. Xerox 349, 5 Canadian. Regarding Genesis 6, do you lean towards fallen angels or sons of Seth? Well, we're actually going to get to this in a little bit, because I have always favored the fallen angels view. And it's one of the elements that, amongst several, the church fathers disagree on. So sometimes, again, we have people who are well-meaning but misguided, who believe that the church fathers never disagree and they always have the same views. No, they don't. One of the things that they disagree on, like the debate over the canon, which books go in the canon of Scripture, that's debated for many centuries. Another issue that the church fathers disagree on is the interpretation of Genesis 6. Many of the earliest fathers favor the angel view. I've always thought that's what the text is talking about, clear as day. And not just that text, but there's actually many other texts that we're going to look at here in a minute, which demonstrate that. But after St. Augustine, it becomes more normative to view this as the godly line of Seth and their temptation to intermarry with unbelievers and so forth. Now, on the point of Augustine, it's interesting to note that Augustine also himself is inconsistent in this position, because although he does not believe that Genesis 6 is about the sons of God and the angels, because he believes that angels can't do this. He talks about in City of God incubi and succubi, which I don't think is a consistent position. I mean, if angels and devils and whatnot don't function this way, then it doesn't make sense to talk about incubi and succubi, and yet he does. So I would say St. Augustine himself is inconsistent on this point. And ultimately, one of the issues that, and listen, I'm going to give you some, no one else I've ever heard talks about this. So I'm going to talk about some text I've never heard anyone cover. Now, maybe there's some dork somewhere who wrote some mega treatise on the Nephilim that I've just not read it. But I'm going to show you some text tonight nobody ever talks about Nephilim. And they're in the Deuterocanon. Because I'm a Bible nerd and I read it, and I've read the Deuterocanon many times, I noticed all these Nephilim passages that nobody else knows or talks about. Except maybe some unknown dork. Like the hidden imam. Maybe we got the hidden dork somewhere. Shia Muslims got the hidden imam. We got the hidden dork who's right about the Nephilim. He's got it all figured out. We just haven't read his papers yet. They're on a blog post somewhere. There's a GeoCities post with a dork's perfect explanation of the Nephilim that we just haven't even read yet. It just hasn't been unearthed. Somebody's going to go into the Wayback Machine and find an old GeoCities page with all the Nephilim stuff. Profit $5. Do you know if there... I know there's a lot of idiotic motivations behind it. What do you think about flat, you know what? I don't really think it's convincing. That does not mean I accept everything from the mainstream. I just don't find that convincing. My priest mentions it in his book. Now, hold on. Your priest mentions what? I'm not talking about the Watchers. See, y'all don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm about to blow y'all's mind right here. Y'all don't even know. Not talking about Daniel. Not talking about Watchers. Everybody knows that stuff, dude. I'm about to go into some Deuterocanon, brah. Not doo-doo canon. Deuterocanon. Somebody said the Nephilim used the... It's a giant toilet system. That's the pipes going down. What if it was just a giant Nephilim potty, dude? You thought the pyramids were like some mystical shit? It's just a giant sports arena and then the Nephilim toilet right there. Because the giants, the Titans, was leaving some Titan-sized dookie, dude. That's what it was. Kidding. I'm about to blow y'all's mind with some Nephilim stuff from the Deuterocanon that nobody knows about. All right, so relax. So you're saying, okay, so God is a man of war, Father Stephen. I've not read Father Stephen DeYoung's book. I know that they talk about it on Lord of Spirits. I don't even know what the position is. Do they... Father Stephen DeYoung's Nephilim information is the most talked about. Now, y'all help me out. I'm not dissing Father Stephen DeYoung. Does he believe in the Nephilim view or the Sons of Seth view? First, let's get that out of the way. Y'all in the chat, help me out there. First, tell me what his position is on that. Then I want to know, does he talk about deuterocanonical texts in this regard? So the chat's behind, so I'll come back to it in a second.
Below ground level, radar tomography has identified vertical cylindrical structures extending for hundreds of meters beneath the pyramid. There are 8 of these cylindrical wells, arranged in 2 parallel rows, descending to an astonishing depth of 648 meters.
So I did find the original file, and this is it. This is what we're talking about. This is...
Now, this is the worst part of this theory, okay? And that is this sequel paper looks stupid, okay? Now, as far as I can tell, it's the same people, Malanga and Biondi, unless this is all fake. But whoever made this, like, 1998, like, background here with a a UFO flying around, and it says the pyramid and the temporal gateway. All right, this immediately looks dumb, dude. So this is the first sign of like, okay, I'm not sure I believe this. It could be true, but this looks stupid, dude. So this is the supposed sequel paper, right? He mentions Nephilim and the Deuterocanon. Okay, does he mention the text I'm talking about? Because I'm not talking about Enoch. It's going to relate to Book of Enoch, but that's not what I'm talking about. Giants are Nephilim and the profane ritual involving angels and humans. Yeah, I mean, I think that that's clearly what Book of Enoch's talking about. And we all know that Jude cites Book of Enoch, right? I assume we all know that. But boomer crap. Yeah, look at this boomer crap. Like, stupid. This looks like some damn secret space program George Norrie stuff right here. This is like Coast to Coast, dog. Stargate nonsense. Yeah, this is like calling Robert California and Kurt Russell.
The official press release by Corrado Malanga, Armando May, and Filippo Biondi, which a lot of people are categorizing this as fake, and others are saying that this is the real deal, but we are going to find out. This is the Caffrey Project document, an abstract of the conference.
So, if this is all fake, it's interesting that, like, who's going to all this work for this bunch of this? I mean, this is a pretty elaborate fakery. And he's about to play the woman, some Italian, I can't tell if she's Italian or Egyptian, woman reading this press release for this underground structures thing. I'm trying to catch up on y'all's comments here. But one thing I will say is, if the underground structures are real, we know, like, you're of course you're going to have boomer pyramidians going crazy, right? So just because the boomer pyramidians are going crazy doesn't mean it's not necessarily real. We just know they're going to do that, right?
March 16th, SAR technology that was used to scan the pyramids, and apparently they found a bunch of chambers that were uncategorized before this scanning system was used, and these are
Now, one thing I don't understand is that this supposed addendum to the paper doesn't look like the other paper. This kind of looks like, I don't know, like something somebody just typed up. You know what I mean?
the cylindrical structures that were found beneath the pyramid.
But it also could be that they just had all this research under the first paper, but then they just released this separate because this was the big stuff. So maybe this big stuff they waited to release because it was the meat of the paper, and they knew that nobody's going to go read their super ass nerd paper that you can't even make sense of.
As you can see,
if you try to read the original paper, it's like half of it I can't make sense. It's too much nerd shit.
the 8 cylindrical structures identified.
So this is the supposed structures underneath, arranged in this order. This is
tomographic.
Their sort of models of what they think it might look like.
Images appear as vertical wells, hollow inside, surrounded by descending spiral pathways. Would you look at that? And this is the base of the pyramid, I guess.
So here's one of these. If this is real, you can see how far down this goes. Another thing I'd say that's interesting is if this is real, it's fascinating because there have been these myths of these ancient underground hidden chambers that have apparently been around for a long time. Somebody was posting these on Twitter. Again, they could be fake too. It could be fake old documents, but for people all into this pyramid lore stuff, there was an old paper or article. Let me see if I can find it. I thought I saved it. Yes, so this is some kind of old magazine. It looks like from like the 1890s. Science identifies great... Now, I'm not saying this is true. I think this is stupid, but they're saying science identifies the pyramid as Noah's Ark. Now, I don't think the pyramid is Noah's Ark, okay, but the reason this paper is interesting or this old news clipping or whatever this is because they posit these descending structures underneath it. So in other words, they might have known that there's these underground structures and perhaps even underground city, and they just had people writing about it, theorizing what it might be. Oh, maybe this is where the ark rested and they built this pyramid on top of it, or, I mean, who knows? But there has been apparently a long-standing mythology, legend of underground structures and something. So this image, we don't know what this is. This is supposed to be that long dark thing there is supposed to be something descending down, if this is not fake. And perhaps even underground structures underneath. Now, another thing that could be possible is, as we talked about with Kotel today, if this is real, this could also suggest that there was a city and perhaps it got buried after a catastrophic event, catastrophism, like a giant flood.
This is wild. Look at that. This is how long these cylindrical structures are. And I guess that this is something that they found also. This is amazing. And what appears to be, I'm not sure what this is, but it looks like non-natural structures, as they state. What is
spiral pathways? Now, this design not only implies a functional purpose, but also a level of sophisticated engineering that completely blows the dynastic Egyptian model out of the water.
So again,
now it would do that, right? I mean, it would totally change. If this is real, it would totally change all this stuff. Now, inside the pyramid, I've never been in there, but there's also these giant tombs with like massively heavy, I don't even know what they're made out of, right? There's these lids to the coffins down there that are super, super heavy. People don't really know how they got them down there. Maybe this was a more open structure when they were building it, and they put the tombs in there with the lids first and then built around the tombs. But there is this, I don't know, kind of a mystery about the tombs themselves. Let's see, there's a picture of these massive things.
The tunnel itself is all carved in the bedrock. Right. So imagine if we turned off this light now, we're not going to be even able to see our palms right ahead of us. Right. So imagine that you are actually doing the challenge of this work in the dark.
Egypt is an ancient underground burial complex near Saqqara, and it's supposedly dedicated to the sacred Api bulls.
Yeah, here it is.
The lid of the tombs weigh approximately 100 tons.
That seems a bit much to me. 100 tons? But regardless of however many tons it is, it's difficult to see how they got that in there, because some of the spaces are like barely like enough to squeeze this sarcophagus through. But probably, if the most likely explanation would be that they dug out the holes, right, down to low levels, and they put the sarcophagi in there first and then built around that. Would be one of the easiest ways to solve that dilemma.
Of tunnels carved into the bedrock. Thing is, things get really strange and well engineered inside the Serapeum. Let's just say too perfectly engineered.
To be other devices, I believe, in this place, which we can see that there is a carving in the wall to house something else. I believe it could be a false door, or what we know as the false door, which is another device that can possibly regulate frequency and sound.
There's also the fact that the lids itself.
I'm gonna skip past some of this stupid speculation.
Once you have a Sorcom SIM card in your
lids, because this next part is actually pretty interesting, because some dude like snuck down in there, and so there's 2 or 3 entrances into the Sphinx himself, right? And another reason I think the Nephilim idea might be relevant is that, I mean, this giant Sphinx thing clearly looks like some sort of unnatural aberration, right? And so if the pyramids did at some point have some reference to, you know, ancient worship of these Titan entities, then it makes sense how they were not tombs. No one was placed in there. Okay, well, whether they're tombs or just ritual sites or whatever, I don't know what they are, but I'm not a pyramidiot. I'm not calling you a pyramidiot, John MC. I'm just making a joke. The Sphinx entity appears to be some sort of weird hybrid aberration, right? I'm not saying that if Nephilim existed, they were actually blending men with animals. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that if it was a structure dedicated to at one point the worship of these entities, which is what, you know, Book of Enoch says, kind of apparently what we see in Genesis 6, and I'm going to show you the similar situation in the books in the deuterocanonical text that say the same. To me, that makes sense, right? But again, that's all speculation. But when this guy looks inside, and nobody's ever allowed to go in there, so this kid had to sneak in there. He took his cell phone, which is pretty funny. He did get a back door.
Great Sphinx of
He got a backdoor view going up in the back door of the Sphinx. I'm joking, but I think it's the side door that he went in.
There are several known shafts or passages which lead directly inside. The first shaft, Shaft A, can be found on the head of the Sphinx. The hole measures approximately 5 feet square and nearly 6 feet deep. Today on the mouth of the hole is an iron trap door, blocking its entry. The next shaft is Shaft C. It sits on the back of the Sphinx, and it's a square shaft, which is said to lead to a dead end. However, the footage you'll see in a moment will disprove that entirely. And Shaft D is where it gets interesting. This shaft goes much deeper. It appears that once inside, at least the back...
The other thing I don't understand is, like, why does the Egyptian government not let anybody just... Why do they not just look at it and tell what it is? You know what I mean? Maybe they want to leave the mystique about it for tourist purposes. Bobby C, $2. We was plumbers and she. Aaron Wine Zero, $10. Aaron Wine Zero again, $10. Say hi to my daughter Ava. She loves the Quasimodo song. What's up, Ava? Quasimodo. Appreciate you liking that. That warms my heart. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats. Let's see. Anon, $3. My atheist buddy has used ancient civilizations like Egypt and China to discount the Bible. He claims these civilizations thrived before and after the flood. Also, this discounts a 6,000 year for the same reason. Well, a lot of the datings of these ancient civilizations don't match up. So you can't just rely on the claims of, say, Epic of Gilgamesh, because they'll say stuff like, and Enki lived to be 100,000 years old. I mean, those aren't reliable dating claims. So if he's going to make arguments that the claims of the ancient civilizations dating disproves the Bible, then he's going to have to give an account for wild, crazy, contradictory dating claims in those ancient civilizations. Theosis 5 R's. 100 T is how much a blue whale weighs. You spotted well the absurd. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the heck that would have to be made out of to weigh 100 tons. That sounds crazy. I mean, maybe 10 tons. I don't know. But that sounds crazy. But even if it's 10 tons, like, if you, like, how they got those sarcophagi in there is, unless they just built around it.
The Sphinx is in fact hollow, but again, this shaft appears to hit a dead end.
And here's the video by Dieselpunk Cummings. 3.
This is a pretty bold move here. This, and he just looks like a frat bro, too. He's like a frat bro, is like, dude, Like, I'm gonna take my camera. I'm just like totally gonna go down there. He's dressed like total frat bro.
Years ago of them actually going inside this shaft D, which supposedly leads to a hollow part of.
We got straight frat bro ops on the. We run in frat bro ops. We run an alpha pi beta delta ops on the damn Sphinx.
The Sphinx that again supposedly leads to this underground massive space underneath it.
Alright, found some more iron staining here on the ground. So there was definitely water in this enclosure at one point.
Look at this, is a damn frat bro. He's got a Billy Reed shirt. He's got some khaki shorts. He's got some hey dudes.
This is them going into shaft D.
It's just a frat bro exploring, man. He's like, dude, is it like a kegger down there or whatever? You wanna play some beer pong? Like, we could totally play like Sphinx beer pong or whatever, bro. Look at us. I told you it's a frat bro down there exploring. This is the glory of the white man right here. The white man's culture is a frat bro breaking into the Sphinx, just crawling up in there with a cell phone, ready to play beer pong.
What do you see, Adrian?
It's like, Adrian, it's like, bruh, it's like we could totally have a rager down here, bruh. So we should like bring some snow bunnies or whatever, and just have like a totally smashing rager down here, bro. We could get all the guys from Phi Beta Kappa.
Please. No.
What do you see, Adrian?
I see it. Need to go over there.
Yeah.
So there's a shaft apparently that is going somewhere. Okay. So apparently you can go inside the Sphinx. I don't know. But apparently they don't let people go inside I don't know. I've never been here. I don't know anything about it. So in other words, if there's a hollow interior to the Sphinx, could there be hollow interiors that we don't know about is the point.
Of it. Not only that, at the very base of the pyramid, like ground zero of the pyramid in the center.
Okay, I can't take a bunch of TikTok women spouting new age stuff at me, so but anyway, you get the idea. Now then he goes to this guy.
Use this little DIY to.
This is weird because this guy's channel is pretty good. The guy with the fish, what's it? The Y-Files guy. It's a pretty good channel. And usually he's like debunking. So it's odd to me that this debunking dude is taking up the position that Tesla knew that the pyramid was a giant battery and that it was going to give unlimited energy to the world. That to me seems a bit much, but so the rest of this video is about the Tesla. I think this is goofy. Oh, the pyramid is a giant battery. That to me is stupid. Come on, dude. Now I could go for an underground city or a structure. I could find that convincing, but no, I'm not into this. It ain't a battery, dude. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is. Maybe Lord Yakub is correct. Maybe that's where he was created. Now, to get to this point about Nephilim, ice, baby. Let me show y'all some neat stuff that I bet 99% of you don't know. And if Father Stephen DeYoung beat me to this info, that's okay. I don't have a problem admitting that other people saw this before me. Jonathan Kelly, $10. What is the church father's position on Yakub sending the mud flood to wipe out the Tartarian pyramids? That's a fact, bro. That's tradition. That's what we call tradition. Okay. First text that we're going to look at that's very interesting in this regard. I'm not going to do Genesis 6 and Jude 3. I'm going to assume we've all heard of Genesis 6 and the sons of God. and the daughters of men and the giants in that day. And I'm going to assume that everyone knows that Jude 3 quotes the book of Enoch about the watchers and them leaving their abode, and that Daniel talks about the watchers and the angel. I know. Okay, so we know those texts. Let's get into the text that nobody ever talks about. We're going to come over to the book of Judith, the deuterocanonical of Judith, and we're going to look over here at verse 6. And Judith is, after her victory here, after she was successful in her operations, this is kind of it's an Esther type of story, right? Well, look at this. She likens her victory. The Lord Almighty has foiled them by the hands of a woman. Get out of it. Dang it. Get out of the way. For their mighty one did not fall by the hands of young men, nor did the sons of the Titans strike him down, nor did tall giants set upon him. But Judith, daughter of Merari, with the beauty of her countenance, undid him. Now, wait a minute. This is Hebrew parallelism. The Titans are the giants. Hebrew parallelism is repeating structure within the text. Whoa. Did anyone know that Judith talked about the Titans? Well, guess what? We're not done there. 2 Maccabees 2. Let me pull it up. Oh, excuse me, I misread that. 3 Maccabees, that's right, because this is unique to the Orthodox canon here. 3 Maccabees 2, excuse me. The high priest Simon knelt in front of the temple. He extended his hands and offered a prayer. Lord, King of heavens, Master of all creation, holy among the holy ones, only ruler, almighty. Pay attention to us. We are crushed by an evil, impure man, caught up in his arrogance and power. You are the creator of all things. The just master who rules over all. You judge those who act with violence. You destroyed those who did evil in the past, even the giants. The giants trusted in their boldness and strength, but you destroyed them with a great flood. Interesting. We're not done. Come over to Wisdom 16. I wonder if I meant Sirach 16, because I put Wisdom 16:7. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's not wisdom, so it's actually Sirach. In Orthodox Bible, it's wisdom of Sirach, but in the Catholic Bibles, I think is it Sirach or Ecclesiasticus? I always forget. Oh, interesting. So the Catholic Bible translates it princes of old. Let's see. I wonder. Okay, now here we go. So this is the reading that the Orthodox Bible has. Sirach 16. He was not propitiated for the ancient giants who revolted in their might. See that? And Barak 3. Barak 3. (24 to 27). O Israel, how great is the house of God, and how vast the territory that he possesses. It is great and has no bounds. It is high and immeasurable. The giants were born there, who were famous of old. So talking about the giants apparently being born in this land of Israel, back, I guess, before, in the Genesis 6 period. They were great in stature, experts in war. God did not choose them. So we've got the identification of Titans with the giants, with the giants of old. And then I'm sure everyone knows Jude 3. Not Jude 3, just Jude. And Jude likens the false teachers to those who didn't have their proper, they left their proper abode and domain. The angels that did not keep their own position, but left their proper dwelling, have been kept by him in eternal chains in the nether gloom until the judgment day, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. And this is one of the reasons why Genesis 6 should be probably angels, because the sin is it's likened to a violation of what's proper. Just as an angel with a human is unnatural, it's likening it to the unnatural actions of Sodom and Gomorrah, you see. If it was just good people going after ancient ethos of the ancient world, it's not really the equivalent of Sodom and Gomorrah, and it's not unnatural, you see. It might not be appropriate, but it's still male-female natural relations, you see. So I've never heard anyone talk about these deuterocanonical references to the Titans and to this stuff. So there you go. That to me suggests that, okay, well, if we include and believe the deuterocanonical texts, then these deuterocanonical texts make it pretty clear that no, Genesis 6 is talking about angels and giants. So that's my take on that. So moving on then to a different subject, Adria, $20. This feels first full circle, but I used to be a Pyramidia. I found you on Gaia app 10 years ago when you did Esoteric Hollywood. Bro, we still do Esoteric Hollywood. So do not mistake me for a person that is not me. In fact, Esoteric Hollywood 3 is complete and it's about to come out in the next couple months. So I still do Esoteric Hollywood. Now, what do y'all think about the ancient Antarctica mysteries? That's why we're going to consult Vanilla Ice on this. And I'm going to give you another quiz question. Y'all ready for this? Is for 100 THC. 100 Tin Hat Cat Crypto. You ready? Y'all ready for this? Do 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 do. 100 THC. I read that one last time. That was too easy. Okay, y'all might. This is a good one. Quiz question. You put your receive address for your MetaMask wallet, Sonic Mainnet, or your Rabby wallet receive address. For 100 THC. Who collaborated with Werner von Braun for 3 TV specials on space travel? Who? Vanilla Ice is an Anunnaki from Antarctica. Who collaborated with Werner von Braun for 3 TV specials on space travel for 100 THC? This stupid ass pen doesn't work. Oh, correct. Jonathan Kelly got it right away. It is Walt Disney. So, Jonathan Kelly, put your receive address if you want it. Now, if you're not into crypto, stop answering and taking away people's award winnings. Next question. For another 100 THC. Who has a crater named after him on the dark side of the moon? The answer to the previous question was Walt Disney, and Jonathan Kelly got it. Who has a crater named after him on the dork side of the dork side of the moon? More like it, the damn dork side of the moon. I know the chat is a little behind, so. Accounts payable $5. I can't wait for Lana Del Rey to become Orthodox, and then we can see a musical collab with Jay. Funko Pop featuring Lana Del Rey coming soon. Hey, look, nothing is outside of the realm of possibility, given how crazy everything is now. Okay, IX got it. It is Jack Parsons. So IX, if you want your 100 THC, you have to put your receive address, wallet, receive wallet, your receive address from your wallet in the chat. All right. Antarctica. Now, I made this video a long time ago, but this popped into my head because we're talking about all this ancient stuff. What do y'all think about the pyramid down there? Let's look and see. What's this?
Collaborate and just listen.
This is the first time they've seen it. Some of them have seen it before, and they're still in awe just as much as they were when they saw it.
What's up with Antarctica? It seems to be capturing the mind of everyone. Fascination in the modern period, I think. Remember like 5-6 years ago when all that weird stuff was coming about Antarctica and people were trying to figure out what the heck's going on? That's when I made this. I was from the 90s. Because it was in the 90s that under Operation Deep Freeze, President Bill Clinton went down to Antarctica. And he did not inhale. This is a real thing. Okay, Operation Deep Freeze. President Bill Clinton became the first president to visit the base, Antarctica base, in 1999. Okay, I just thought that's weird. Because that air was so cold. Now, I don't know why he didn't inhale the President Clinton went to Antarctica, but following this, he made a speech to about 5,000 people at a live audience in New Zealand. And there was the International Antarctica Center Conference. And he visited one of the bases there, one of the U.S. bases. So, in the 90s, back to Honest Bill, we had trips to Antarctica. Now this one is interesting. This is the next one that I could find. I'm sure there were more, but in 2013, Prince Harry and the royal family went to the South Pole. I don't know if this is supposed to be them here, constructing a tent. Yeah, right, like he was saying, out in the tent in the middle of this. Here he is inhaling what Bill didn't inhale, I guess. Go. Yeah, so Steve McLovin says for $5, what if the Easter Island heads were based on the giants as well? I mean, yeah, I mean, like Kotel was saying in the stream earlier tonight, apparently they have full-size bodies, and it's a mystery as to how they got there, right? So we don't know where those structures came from, who put them there. They seem to be, you know, quite a bit of work to put a bunch of super heavy heads on a little island. You know what I mean? That seems like a lot of work for that, but who knows?
Go ahead, Harry. I want you to inhale what I didn't inhale.
Okay, so now we got the royal family, Bill Clinton going down there in the 90s, 2000s, which is weird. Why are they there?
On the ice.
By the way, I found all this on Wayback Machine, right? So a lot of this stuff had been deleted. And let's see. So Prince Harry goes down there. We don't know why. You could say, well, it's just they're just interested in exploring. Exploring what? A bunch of ice? I mean, like, what is there worth exploring in just a winter wonder wasteland? Now you get the royal family of Spain, King Carlos, who is 100% pro NWO figure. Well, he goes down there. And he goes to Deception Island. What the hell? Deception Island. Yeah. Like, why are all of these heads of state and people going down there? Well, they're just going down there to chill. To do what? It's just a big chunk of ice. What's the point? It's weird.
Of Spain, certainly somebody who is deep inside the global elite power structure. He visited in 2004 to the Spanish bases, and we see an interesting name for that island there, Deception Island. It's quite a name.
Now, it was popping off in the news back in 2016. Wait a minute. Why is there... It's not an alien base. But why is there perhaps underground structures or perhaps a triangular structure? So the most interesting thing is the pyramid of Antarctica. Now, you're going to have to decide whether you think it's a pyramid or it's just a mountain. I don't care either way. It could be either one. But it's interesting.
Claim of the pyramid. The huge triangular structure that has popped up on... that has popped up on YouTube and a bunch of other sites claiming to be an actual pyramid. The image gets a little bit of a jagged edge here, so maybe. However, setting aside this little jagged edge, does that look...
I mean, that's kind of weird, don't you think? For a giant... And what was interesting is that, again, when this pops off in the news, it was when you had a bunch of heads of state going to visit Antarctica. Why? Right? So, I mean, it's a little jagged, but that could be snow and ice. But, I mean, that kind of looks like a pyramid. I mean, it just kind of does, you know? What do you guys think? So here's another angle of it. Kind of looks like a pyramid. Is it? I mean, look at the structures next to it. Right? You've got totally jagged, unformed stuff that looks totally different from this. Well, it looks like a pyramid to me. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm a skeptic too. Like, I'm not saying this proves anything, but it looks like a pyramid. I don't know what to say. It does not look like these other rocks next to it.
You can see it's contrasted with the natural formations around it, but very unlikely.
8 Sleep's brand new Pod 4 is truly incredible.
That's a damn pyramid, boy.
Box.
Bro, Lord Yakub was down there, even in the ice and the snow, bro. Look, here's from up top. That's a 4-sided pyramid, man.
Now I want to talk about one of the first debunking ones that comes up. There's a couple, but IFL Science, of course.
Remember this stupid ass website? I fucking love science, dude. So they're going to try to debunk it. Let's see what they say.
Their total fedora neckbeard run. And the first thing they say is, oh, we can easily debunk this because the aliens have constructed other mountains that supposedly look like pyramids. And they're making fun of it. They're just saying, oh, it's not aliens. Now, I'm not saying it is aliens. But, it didn't take aliens to build the pyramids in Egypt. It took humans.
Yeah, I mean, how do we know that there weren't just other civilizations before the flood in these areas, and the geography and the, vegetation would have been totally different prior to the flood? And perhaps these were tropical regions. Now, I don't believe something because Graham Hancock says it, but let's take the Piri-Reis map, which everybody who loves this stuff gets into. So if the Piri-Reis map is correct, it shows a different coastline, right? And I think it's supposed to show a different coastline of, isn't it Antarctica? Let's see. Let's read what it says here. I haven't looked at this in like 20 years. I don't remember. But it's a 1513 Ottoman admiral named and cartographer Piri-Reis. Oh, wow. This was rediscovered. I didn't know that. This was a lost map rediscovered in 1929, supposedly. And it's a partial copy of an otherwise lost map that Columbus had. That's weird. Now, also people, keep in mind, they could have just got the map wrong. Right? So just because an old map shows something like, yeah, but they could have got it wrong, dude. It's not true just because it's an old map. I thought the whole point of this was that it has a different... Here we go. Well, it looks pretty accurate, though. Oh, there's a whole bunch on this. Oh, here we go. So it has a different topography of Antarctica, I think. The claim about the Piri-Reis map originates with a Captain Arlington Mallory, a civil engineer and amateur archaeologist who supported a pre-Columbian transoceanic contact hypothesis. He used a grid system to reposition, blah, blah, blah. Charles Hapgood. Isn't that dude a quack? Polar shift? What are we talking about? Is this that declassified CIA document? Remember, does that get into this? You know what I'm talking about, right? By the way, just because the CIA declassifies some journal or some book doesn't mean it's true. A lot of dum-dums think that because there was a declassified CIA document that talked about this, oh, it's true. They're trying to keep it secret. Well, they wouldn't declassify it. They're trying to keep it secret. But there was a oh, here we go. Hapgood believed that Antarctica did not have ice in 4000 BC-ish. And then this article says, oh, no, normie scientists have disproven this, that it had ice until 10 million years ago. Well, I already don't believe that. And then it cites a bunch of quacks like Von Daniken and Graham Hancock. Others think that it might have been a lost civilization comparable to Atlantis. Anyway, it has a different coastline, and the map like shows vegetation on Antarctica, which shouldn't be there. Yes. So the idea is that this map was drawn when there was still vegetation. Okay, maybe. That doesn't seem that outlandish, but I don't know. Who knows? Okay, so there's that. And there could have been some other civilization there. Who knows? I mean, we just don't know. I think a lot of this ancient, pre-flood stuff, we just don't know, man. There's way more that we don't know than what we do know. There's another angle. It looks like a pyramid to me, dude. That does not look like the other mountains on Antarctica. Now, I don't believe in aliens, so. And by the way, some of that area is blurred out. Well, why is it blurred out? Like, why do we not need to see Google Earth? What's going on in that area, right?
Using the right.
I don't remember what else I talked about in this video. It's funny to watch these videos I made like 7 years ago. So let's see what else I'm talking about.
German bases that were built during war.
Oh, I forgot. There were secret tiny mustache man bases built there too. This is partially what gives rise to all the nerds and the dorks and the pyramidiots. Like, tiny mustache man went there and he found the hollow earth entrances or whatever.
So that's real. I don't know how extensive that is. Could that be what's covered up? Could that be what the structures are that we're going to get to here in a little bit? I don't know.
Now, that's true. There really were tiny mustache man bases there. That's true. Now, I don't know if it has anything to do with what we're talking about. It's just an interesting tidbit. So let's see. Apparently, there have been many articles, by the way, over the years saying this. Underneath the ice. So they found frozen trees. And the trees, by the way, extend between ice layers that are supposed to be the zillions of years. And the creationists talk about this because it disproves the zillions of aeons of the Darwinian narrative and the long extended periods of time. Because you've got trees that extend between ice layers that are supposed to take millions of years. How could one tree extend between that? Well, that disproves the millions of the millions of years stuff. And this is just one of many articles talking about unexpected signs of life underneath the glaciers.
Is that under the ice, it appears there are fully existing life forms, or at one time there were. So we're finding structures that include entire trees, things like this have been uncovered in ice into the climate change agenda. So climate change is being linked to this to some degree. In fact, if you saw the article that was about Harry and the royal family, they were saying that their visit was about climate change. And the life forms that are frozen under the ice, supposedly the DNA and the RNA, they're going to run all these tests. And they're going to tell us exactly, what led to the creatures and their, retreating and why they were frozen, what happened, and how they evolved.
Did Jonathan Kelly or IX post their address? I apologize. I got distracted by the stream and I'm scrolling back. I don't see any Sonic addresses. I want to give you guys your winnings. If you didn't post it, or if you did, please repost it because I'm scrolling up. I don't see it. Let's see. We got a super chat from One Shot. Or no, he became a member. Enough about our theories. What is Jay's theory or suspicion about why they brought the heads of state to Antarctica in Operation Deep Freeze. I don't know. I really don't. I mean, if they did discover pyramids in Antarctica and they were going to brief heads of state, they might do something like that. It's also maybe just a weird geostrategic location for meetings. I have no idea, man. I really don't know. I don't know anything about Antarctica. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know that Tiny Mustache Man had a base there, and I know it's like an strategic area. But other than that, I don't know.
All to be able to live in the ice. Now, this is interesting too because there's an X-Files episode, there's an X-Files movie that I'll mention as well that has all these same themes. In fact,
yeah, this is like also The Thing, right? This is Kurt Russell, John Carpenter, The Thing. Giant square ice cubes is weird too. I mean, I guess it's possible. I don't know. I don't study ice, so I don't know what the hell's going on. I just think all this is weird. And I made this video back then, and it hardly got any views. I thought it was an interesting subject, but I think this is the Piri Reis map again, so I'll skip that.
I mean, it's crazy to think about it. Like.
So, yeah, this is high-octane speculation. We're definitely speculating.
Look how cool, son.
Now, even these mainstream science places, which are full of bullshit articles all the time, even these will sometimes admit that there's evidence for lost civilizations or continents and stuff. So, what else is in here? Let's see.
Now the next one is almost directly out of The Thing.
This one, I forgot about this. This might have been Tiny Mustache Man's thing, but apparently there was a discovery of a military base in Antarctica that was previously unknown that was frozen over.
Almost like the base in The Thing, or the Norwegian and the American bases in The Thing, got covered up by snow, and they're saying, oh, it's a 2 kilometer long city by melting the ice. It was unearthed. Who melted this ice, by the way? What does that mean?
Now, this could be complete bullshit. This looks like Daily Mail, so who knows? They don't always have the most reliable. But you'll notice, like, whatever this is, it's some kind of structure or something.
Are they planes? Like, it looks like maybe...
Oh, maybe this is an airfield. Maybe Tiny Mustache Man had like a base and an airfield there. That's very possible. And it just got... See, as you can see, like, that's obviously... that's not a random structure. That's something there.
Found this. Again, people can find these things because this isn't...
That looks like a bunch of, like, German fighter jets that are, just sitting there or something. I don't know.
Largely uncharted continent. And what is that? It's not natural. Is it something from World War II? Man, this...
Yeah, I'm going to vote World War II on that one.
Can't even tell what it is. I don't know. I mean, is this buildings, barracks, bunkers? Who knows? And...
Anyway,
lastly,
when I made this, then there was another weird structure that appeared here, which I remember they were saying at the time, "Oh, it's an alien base." It's not an alien base.
There's a lot that we don't.
I don't know what that is, but it's some kind of weird. Again, this might be Foo Fighters that Tiny Mustache Man had. I don't know.
Lastly, most relevant to The Thing,
that might also, I mean, that could be like where they perhaps were beginning to build a base or a structure. You know what I mean? Who knows what? Maybe Tiny Mustache Man had a bunch of plans to, build something down there, and they just didn't finish because the war ended or something. And I was making a joke here, tying it into The Thing, because it does look kind of like The Thing.
The ship crash lands in Antarctica. This is what sparks off the whole Twizzlers monster replicator that infects the... And it also looks exactly like the X-Files movie, Alien. It does look exactly like X-Files. I wonder if they were pulling from... So, you know, Google Earth, Google Satellite, all that stuff, people are spotting this kind of stuff all the time. And a lot of times they'll blur it out and they don't let you talk about it or know what it is. So I don't know what's going on, but there's a lot of weird, crazy stuff going on. And a couple more examples. I don't have a whole lot of theories on Göbekli Tepe, but I couldn't find Kotel's stream on it. But to me, this just looks like, okay, we don't know who built it, but that doesn't, why would we jump from that to aliens and bullcrap like that? That's stupid, right?
With new ways of organizing themselves, the site's builders may have been among the first to recognize the potential of urban living, creating a place where people could gather, share knowledge, and participate in complex rituals that reinforced social cohesion. If so, then Göbekli Tepe may not have been an isolated anomaly, but rather a crucial stepping stone in the development of human civilization. Ultimately, the mystery of the Basal Eurasians and their role in constructing Göbekli Tepe is far from solved.
And I don't think that these, like what we see at this place, I mean, it's interesting, but there's nothing about this that's like, oh, how did they carve that? You know what I mean? It's like, this seems just like any other ancient megalith, like very, very similarly constructed and carved. I mean, I think like Kotel said, we often assume that everybody in the ancient world were a bunch of, you know, Geico caveman idiots and they didn't have any skill. But no, I mean, obviously people that built the pyramids were very skilled, but that doesn't require, you know, alien theories for these kinds of lost civilizations. They just seem like any other lost civilization. There's nothing particularly non-normal about these situations or cities or civilizations, except in some cases. In some cases, there are unexplained elements, but that's the minority. I'll show you too. The Bosnian pyramids is a more recent thing that they discovered these pyramids in Bosnia.
The Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun is rumored to be 30,000 years old. Its captivating tale has been circulating the internet since 2005. This means that Bosnian pyramids would not only predate the iconic Egyptian ones, but also, according to Dr. Samos Managic, they're twice their size.
Now this is interesting because we don't usually think about ziggurats and pyramids outside of like Latin, South America, Egypt. But there might even be pyramids in North America. Perhaps some of the burial mounds could be the same type of structure. And here we are over in Bosnia with gigantic pyramids that I think this was supposedly, I mean, I don't know about 30,000 years old, but apparently this was discovered in the 2000s.
The prejudice of mainstream historians drives us to believe that humanity was still primitive 10,000 years ago. Yet there are countless structures in the ancient world that we lack the knowledge to build today. Since 2005, there's been a dispute regarding whether the Bosnian pyramid is a natural formation or a structure. As soon as Dr. Osmanagic published his discovery, Zahi Hawass, the infamous corrupt Egyptologist, did everything in his power to stop the excavation. Geologists and Egyptologists petitioned to stop the Bosnian pyramid from being publicly announced. What were these so afraid of?
Today is actually a really exciting...
Now, if you ask me, the Bosnian pyramid is weaker sauce. That's weak sauce compared to the Antarctica pyramid. The Antarctica pyramid looks way more like a pyramid than this thing. But I've not looked into this. We're just having fun tonight, so don't attack me. But I mean, that looks kind of. I mean, it could be just grown over, and I think they just found another one of these. There's like a giant discovery Latin South America, stuff like this. So this stuff does get discovered all the time.
Others, who didn't even visit Bosnia, claimed the opposite. I decided to follow the example of good guys and visit myself, and after 2 days of driving through forests and unknown roads through Montenegro, we finally saw the pyramid, and it was enormous. Before we entered the miles of underground tunnels, we decided to climb to the top and look for clues that would tell us.
Now wait a minute. If there's underground tunnels, that's pretty interesting.
Whether it was a legit ancient pyramid or just a hill. You can see all 4 sides are angled toward the ground to the same degree. This was the first thing I wanted to check. Many would say that this is a natural formation, but the Pyramid of the Sun in Twerking, Mexico, looked like an ordinary hill before it.
Oh, interesting. That's a pretty good point. So here is Teotihuacan before they dug out all the dirt around it. Look at that. Dang, dude. In fact, that looks less like a pyramid than the Antarctica pyramid.
It was excavated. All you need to do is look at the before and after pictures. If you're wondering how enormous structures like that can become buried, we must remember that we have proof of how cataclysmic floods occur in cycles at the abrupt end of ice ages due to glaciers melting. The last flood.
But here's normies talking about floods. They didn't believe the Bible.
Or natural formations like mountains. The 4 criteria that must be met to officially recognize a buried pyramid as legitimate are: number 1, geometry. The form of the Bosnian pyramid is undoubtedly a square pyramid, equilateral triangular sides that converge into an apex. We climbed to the top and explored all sides, and we even saw the corner where 2 sides of the pyramid met. This discovery later allowed Dr. Osmanagich's team to determine the construction materials of the pyramid. Number 2, science of construction. By excavating the surface, Dr. Osmanagich and his team found artificially made concrete blocks and
well, that's definitely a thing.
Sent them to a third-party laboratory that dated these blocks to 32,000 years ago. Luckily, I've spent a few years studying civil engineering, and concrete has something we call compressive strength, which basically is the hardness of the material. The normal concrete we use in realism, that while the ancient is not that important, but I say perhaps we might be looking at the wrong properties of concrete. Actually, from a civil engineering point of view,
that looks like a damn base of a pyramid to me. I don't know. Alright, so here's where it gets interesting, because this guy's saying there's actual tunnels. Which, yeah, you could have had ancient people building tunnels underneath the mountain, but I mean, we'll have to see how fancy the tunnels look.
Pyramid with 0 degrees, 0 minutes, and just 12 seconds is the most precise orientation we've ever seen toward the north. And if you're wondering why all pyramids...
That looks like a pyramid, dude. That looks like a pyramid to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, it looks more like a pyramid than Teotihuacan did.
Are situated toward the north. I explained how to make a pyramid at home and harness the power of Earth's electromagnetic field in my How to Make an Organ Pyramid video. All the pyramids found across the globe are near a river or underground water.
Man, all these pyramidians, they just go too far out with the speculation. Just show me what you can prove, dude. I don't need to know that you think it's a homemade Yakub battery.
Underneath all of these pyramids was a large network of underground waters, or underground tunnels and passageways. These further confirm that the pyramid is an edifice built by men just like in Egypt. We have tunnels underneath the Bosnian one. They are spanning for miles under and around the pyramid. And I'll show you the inside because we enter with an experienced guide.
Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the pressure?
I haven't even looked into these Bosnian pyramids. I just remember seeing an article about it years ago, and I was like, that's crazy. Pyramids in Bosnia?
Layer of cloud-green blocks, we found fossilized leaves, which is organic material. We carefully sent it for radiocarbonic analysis on many institutes in Germany, Sweden, and Poland, and we got rather bad that those fossilized leaves were combined together, shaped, and then baked at very high temperatures. Because to make ceramic like this, you need temperatures that are higher than 1,000 degrees.
So you can take
and
a tour underneath?
Block that is on top of creation of material at every top of tunnel. You don't have to be an expert, but you can immediately notice arch of the tunnel, height, and enormous width as well. So when we come to clean tunnels, everything is easy for us. We just follow this closed material. We don't want to expand tunnels in height and width at all, and we don't make new tunnels. We just find the old ones. But what's helping us find tunnels easily is this structure right here called drywall. Drywall is made out of bigger rocks that are perfectly aligned on top of each other without any binder. The cosmic gate is finally opened again. They had very big intelligence.
Alright, I'm not interested in a bunch of stupid speculations, but that's interesting. It's interesting. Can we just get normal people researching this and not pyramid idiots? It's because everybody who talks about this stuff ends up just sound like a total quack. But there's probably something going on here, you know what I mean? Oh, here's the giant lids of the tombs.
Perfect 90-degree.
This is what they were saying is 100 tons or whatever.
Corners, like 100-ton granite boxes. They're in...
No, oh, it's the whole box that's supposedly 100 ton, not the lid.
Same.
The Serapeum boxes are one of the world's most incredible mysteries. Every aspect of these 24 granite boxes is peculiar and confusing.
They just built it around it. You dig out the base structure, put your sarcophagi in there, and then you build your pyramid over it. How's that? Problem solved. All right. I want to say I saw some other pyramids found. Sometimes they find these underwater things too, but that one's interesting. That's Mexico. Underwater ziggurat in Mexico. That's pretty crazy. Oh, I know what I wanted to look up. There was a discovery a few... So wait a minute. Now this has made it all the way to Jerusalem Post and Financial Times. So this has hit mainstream media. Not that that makes it true, but radar finds underground structures. Jerusalem Post, Financial Times. Researchers say they've claimed to discover cylindrical shapes, 2,000 feet deep. Now, I'm not saying that makes it true, but it is interesting that you've got all the mainstream outlets now commenting on this. Yeah, well, that's weird. There was a giant tunnel network found. And where was this? This was like Inca, Maya. Is it this one? Ooh, this is an Incan labyrinth discovered. I think this is it. This is pretty wild.
I'm done spending an obscene amount of money on
Now legendary across the world, it was the last great Mayan city, Chichen Itza. Located in the southeastern state of Yucatan in Mexico, this sprawling cosmopolitan city attracted thousands of men and women in its heyday, as much as Paris at the time.
It has opportunities, it's exciting. This was the place to be.
The sublime pyramid of El Castillo radiated.
When you would emerge from that building, you were looking out over this enormous plaza.
As that includes everything from the construction equipment, so it wasn't the technology.
This stupid background music is going to ding the dang algorithm, so I'm trying to just find the underground tunnel section. I don't care about, well, look at these weirdos. Everybody into this stuff is just the goofiest looking weirdo. They're all like sucralose. They all look like sucralose. Okay, get me to the tunnels.
It was naked, like the others, but all we found at this spot was a foot, and 100 meters further, a leg. We believe that means that when the Teotihuacanos came into this place, likely to desacralize the tomb of the man who was buried here, they also destroyed the sculpture, which likely...
Alright, anyway, more interesting than that is, I mentioned this to Kotel, this was crazy. So these Chinese villagers were... They had this ancient water fountain on the side of a rock, right? And it's called the Longyu Caves. And somebody got the idea to drain the water space, and they found a tunnel. I don't know how they like sucked all the water out, right? So then they found more tunnel. Well, they kept sucking out the water, and they found out their ancient Chinese village had an underground city they didn't even know about. It's so old that no one knows whose it was or what civilization it was, right? This is fascinating because this kind of stuff gets discovered all the time, and we just don't even know. Like, who knows who this was? So I'll show you. If you read this article, it says, a group of 24 artificial sandstone caverns located in Fangwang Hill near the village of Xi'an on the Ku River in the Kuzhou prefecture of Xinjiang province. It is unknown when they were created. They're mentioned in an ancient poem by Yu Zun, and they're listed on clay pots. So they found ancient something from 200 BC to 23 AD stuff within the cave, they think. In 1992, 4 farmers found these caves when they drained their water pond, their village. Turns out 5 large man-made caverns that then revealed 19 more caverns. So there was a whole damn underground city they didn't even know about. Check this out. This is crazy.
Longyu Caves, and they deserve to be a whole lot more popular than they currently are. A lot of this obscurity is pretty explainable. The site was only uncovered about 30 years ago, and only just recently have efforts been undertaken to transform it into a major tourist attraction with the infrastructure to support so many people. It really cannot come quickly enough, as the infrastructure may have filled out more by that point. When Mike visited a few years ago, only 5 of the caves had been drained and opened to fully walk through, and it appears that that's still the case, but it's difficult to confirm either way, as there's not much information available online.
This guy's voice is driving me crazy. Anyway, this is pretty neat. Look at this ancient, hidden, giant city underneath nobody knows about. Nobody knows where it comes from or who built it. So there's more that we don't know than what we do know. Dylan Kelly, $10. Guys, head over to chalk.com. That is the show sponsor, CHOQ.com. Now there's a bunch more of these that you can go into. You can go into the Nazca lines. You can go into the underwater structure in Japan that they found. You can go into the giant road that goes off into the ocean. A giant bunch of stone roadway that just goes off into the ocean. So there's way more that we don't know than what we do know. But if you head on over to chalk.com, that is the show sponsor. Use the promo code JAY40 to get 40% off all those great products, especially the Tong Cataly. That's my favorite product that they offer. But you can get that male performance stack right there. for 44% off if you use the promo code JAY44LIFE, JAY44LIFE, J44LIFE. Tell me what you guys think about today's discussion. You got to get chalked up. I can't take that dude's vocal fry no more. That was getting on my nerves. I think we hit all the super chats, making sure. Do y'all want another stream where we go into the... There's all kinds of these. There's, what's the Japanese one called? Let's see, it's in this book here. The Japanese underwater ruins. A giant underwater structure that was discovered. There are strange megaliths in Russia. Do you know there's unknown megaliths in Russia? They don't know what they are. I've already forgot about them. I wrote that now. There is the one that I'd never even heard of. The guy mentioned it tonight. Let's see. Doggerland? What is that? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what this is. What is this? Is this real or some sort of bullcrap?
With Verizon.
Oh, not to mention, I'm forgetting all the... There's the Anasazi. Right? They disappeared. Know what happened? Nobody knows what happened to the Anasazi. They disappeared. There is Roanoke colony disappeared. What is Doggerland?
And welcome to Ancient Architects. Please subscribe now to get the... Years ago, Northern Europe looked very different, with mainland Europe, Scandinavia, Britain and Ireland all connected via a lost landmass known as Doggerland. It now lies at the bottom of the North Sea due to rising sea levels and a process called isostatic rebound. During the Ice Age, the weight of the ice further north forced this...
I don't believe in ice age. I just think it's a flood. There's no ice age. It's just a freaking flood. So, is there proof of this? Like, what's the proof of this?
Did an in-depth video about Doggerland last year, which I've linked below, and I would urge you to watch it, because the subject really is a real...
This guy has the worst intonation, and, like, what's going on with his voice, dude? So there's underwater civilization up in that region. Is that what the heck is that? This looks made up, dude. This is fake.
The land was covered with pine, birch and older trees. There were Lake you could years ago, and that's because of a cooling climate and the growth of ice sheet.
So this is what? This is some crap Spurs believe. It's made up, dude. The rediscovery of Doggerland. Is this Atlantis? See, everybody thinks Atlantis. Like, everything is Atlantis. The pyramids were Atlantis. Doggerland's Atlantis. Oh, by the way, I forgot to get to Atlantis tonight. See, I forgot the big ones. We didn't even get to Atlantis. So I wanted to go through Plato's discussions of Atlantis. Let's just make this a part one and a part two. There's too many megaliths, dude. There's too much of this stuff that we don't even know. Nobody even knows nothing, dude. No one knows nothing about none of this. Albert M316 says $100. Hi Jay, we've never chatted before. I just want to thank you for helping me along my journey back to God. I was raised Roman Catholic. I became agnostic in my 20s, then got back to my faith in 2018. You rock. Hey man, thank you so much. You're very kind. Check out Orthodoxy. So, don't go back to Roman Catholicism. You need to look into Orthodox Church. That would be my suggestion. Is that the super chats? I think that's everything. All right, guys, thank you so much. A lot of fun tonight, but I've been streaming since I woke up. I just got no more gas in the tanks. We'll do a part two. We'll get into the Nazca lines. We'll talk about the lost civilizations. We'll talk about the megaliths in Russia. We'll talk about Atlantis and what Plato says about it. No, he doesn't say anything about aliens or technology. He just talks about, well, you'll see. We'll talk about